post-match video show with me, Rob Gutmann. I'm hosting for the first time in my life. I'm beyond excited. They never let me do this shit. I don't know why they don't let me do this shit. Maybe because I'll spoil it. Let's see if I'll spoil it, Fu. Stu Wright. Let's see if I'll spoil it. Go on, fuck the lot of yous. Well, we're all giddy. We've done Brentford in 4-1. And boy, I'm so happy. Not least because the Reds have got 3 points and enjoyed 4-1, because Neil has cried this one in for weeks.
Yes,
He's gone, oh, Brentford, oh. Neil has epically cried these. I would say since Christmas he's cried in Newcastle at home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, and this one. And he's got a full complement. So Neil is the secret Fu to us crying it in for the rest of the season. What do you think?
Maybe this is why you haven't hosted one of these before.
Yeah, maybe
just
that's
got in
why.
straight for the kills.
Now he's giving me the keys to the kingdom. We can just slag him off relentlessly. But in all seriousness, I'm going to go Stu now. Is that what you do on these shows? You go to people. Stu, the TV were desperate to make out that it was going to be a tricky little one for us. A bit like Neil. But it wasn't really, was it? They fannied around for 5-10 minutes. But you could say, I never felt stressed in the game.
Yeah, like the TV and Neil, they'd both been successful in getting into my head.
As one.
Yeah, absolutely. This was the one that I was 100% most worried about in the run of games that we've got. Until the next one, of course. But yeah,
those Luton boys.
But you've got to say, it was absolute consummate professional performance. You know, it was almost like an exercise in clinical finishing. Liverpool as well were incredibly patient in working out the space, because Brentford were very, very compact in that first half until we got that first goal, and really probably as well until we got the second goal, and they felt that then they had to open up, and it felt like more of a game then. But Liverpool were really patient, didn't look like they were going to be countered very much. And when they did, I thought the defenders and the keeper, were great in the brief moments that they were needed. But there was, loads of really strong performances, business-like performances in the business end of the season.
I tell you what I think's funny when you play these teams is you can talk yourself into the fear. It's not just Neil, we're all capable of this. And you go, ooh, Ivan Toney, ooh, they go long, Thomas Frank, yada, yada. But you find those bits in the early phase of the game where they get a bit of possession, they get out against us. But there's a lack of quality with teams at that end of the table. They're just not able to hurt us.
Yeah, totally. And it's a risk Liverpool are willing to take.
Yeah.
In a sense, isn't it? And there's also the thing of it being a half-12. I know Liverpool have got a really good record, despite it being sort of a problem that's always kind of built up before.
We rebadged the half-12 as a good time.
We have, but in all of them, I think back to the Wolves game, for example, there is that bit at the start, isn't there, where it is a little bit shaky, and also just a little bit the players figuring out the game, figuring out kind of waking up for that kickoff and figuring out kind of the tempo. And I thought with the midfield, that was sort of evident. The way Brentford were getting in was more just sort of McAllister and Endo getting used to each other, I think, in that kind of area of the pitch, tracking that runner. Mopé kind of felt that space really well in the early parts, didn't he? Just in between the midfield and defence and towards the right. And I thought after that, when Liverpool kind of got a grasp of that, got a hold of it, there was large periods of control, and there were so many things that went against Liverpool today. If you really kind of look back and you think about the type of side Brentford are, the players they have coming back and the form, some of those players are in. I know they're not in the best form as a team, but there's a lot of factors there that could have been, that could have kind of culminated for a sob story for Liverpool, and the injuries and everything else on top of that. But Liverpool figured it out. Liverpool figured out the way to win that game without it having to be this statement performance. We don't need statement performances at the moment. We just need to be doing the business and grinding through Februaries, which is what every team that has ambitions to win a title does.
Yeah, I think Fu referenced there, Stu, the injuries, and they are taking the piss and ruining my life. And I was like, I've never been so devastated at winning 1-0 at half-time, I think, as I was today.
The two best players in that
I know.
period,
I thought Jota was fantastic in that 44 or whatever he had. And who else? Well, Curtis has been sensational. So if they're going to be out for a bit, it feels like a piss take upon piss take. But once you get over that and celebrate the fact that we actually won 4-1, I was thinking about it this morning. The depth in our squad is ridiculous. It's not just the depth, it's a homogenous depth. And I keep using that word on shows, is we've got about 22, 23, maybe even 24 players where the gap between the best and the worst is like that. Okay, there are, maybe I'm exaggerating slightly, there is an Alisson here, a Salah there.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.